Here they come.
Welcome to this week's episode of Here They Come. I'm Paul Ramlow.
And I'm Kate Lockhart.
Kate, this upcoming weekend, the United States Trotting Association Board of Directors will be heading into Columbus for the annual board meeting, which begins on Sunday, March 13th. It'll be a two-day affair this year, on Sunday the 13th and Monday the 14th. And this year we have a new twist to the meeting in addition to the new format.
That's true, Paul. This year we're going to be live streaming the two general sessions of the annual meeting. There's one on Sunday and then one again on Monday. The session on Sunday starts at 12:30 p.m. On Monday it starts at 3. And we did this as an opportunity for our membership to see what it is the board's doing on their behalf. These meetings are open to members to attend, but not everyone can make it to Columbus. So we're giving them an opportunity to watch those meetings live, and you can do that by going to ustrotting.com for the link there.
Well, Kate, the March edition of Hoofbeats magazine is in the hands of our subscribers now, and featured in this particular issue is Stan Bergstein's experimental championship ratings for 3-year-old trotters of 2011. I'd like to take a quick look at the top 5 in the experimental championship ratings. Leading the way is Man of Many Missions, who is rated at 151 for the upcoming season. Second is Blue Porsche at 151 and 1. Third is Chapter 7 at 151 and 2. Fourth is Pastor Stephen at 151 and 3. And DeJarmbro rounds out the top 5 with a rating of 151 and 4.
Paul, the Breeders' Crown for the 2-year-old colt trotters was one of the most exciting races in the Breeders' Crown this year. I just watched a replay to prepare for the show, and it was thrilling again. Man of Many Missions had the outside post. He was at post 8 and sat sort of at the back of the pack. I think he was 6th to the half, and then he came second over behind Pastor Stephen, sort of following his cover to the front, and just out-kicked him in the stretch. It looked like it was going to be Pastor Stephen. He was hanging on, but Man of Many Missions, came and just nipped him at the end. It was 153 and 2, a world record, just a thrilling drive and an exciting race. I'll be curious to see if those two continue to go head-to-head this year in 2011.
Yeah, not only was that a very close race for those two horses, Kate, they also had a tight, close race to the finish in the Dan Patch Awards voting, in which Pastor Stephen won the vote by one tally, 56 to 55. It was the closest balloting among divisional honors since 1988. So these two horses seem to be intertwined with each other now, both in races and in balloting for year-end awards, and it will be interesting to see how they take to the track as sophomores in 2011. And speaking of Pastor Stephen, Kate, we caught up with his regular driver, Yannick Gingras, at the recent Dan Patch Awards, and Yannick offered these comments on this outstanding 3-year-old colt.
It's definitely a dream to have a horse like that, like coming back as a 3-year-old. And somebody was telling me yesterday that they think I'm going to drive a lot of 2-year-olds for Tactor and stuff like that. And I said, you know what? Hopefully it is true, but I'd trade every one of them for Pastor Stephen to come back as good as he was last year, because I think he's definitely one of the Embletonian favorite, and it's a dream for me to be in there, let alone have one of the best horse in the race. So I'm keeping my finger crossed, and I actually went to the farm and jogged him maybe a couple weeks ago, and he looks great, and so I think everybody's got a fear for him a little bit.
Speaking of the Dan Patch Awards, Paul, there was not a lot of mystery to the evening. We knew who all the divisional winners were up front. We had a good sense of who the horse of the year was going to be. But Trotter of the Year was one of the honors that was really in question. We weren't sure if it was going to be Lucky Chucky, the top 3-year-old colt trotter, or if it was going to be Buckeye St. Pat, the unanimous choice for older trotting mare, and a mare that we've just seen dominate year after year in her division.
Yeah, as it turned out, the vote was 6 votes apart, 60 to 54 in favor of Lucky Chucky. And that was the closest vote for Trotter of the Year since 1976, when Steve Lobel defeated Keystone Pioneer by a vote of 98 to 94. And as the person who counts the ballots, Kate, it was neck and neck all throughout the balloting process before Lucky Chucky finally got the narrow margin of victory. Both horses very deserving, great trotters last year. A shame that only one was able to win Trotter of the Year, but hey, that's the way the vote goes. Somebody has to win, somebody has to lose. But anyway, we caught up with Lucky Chucky's trainer, Chuck Sylvester, and as well as Howard Taylor, one of the owners of Buckeye St. Pat, and got their comments on these two outstanding trotters.
I mean, it was a special year. This horse tried his heart out every single race, and he was right there. He lost some of the big races, but he bounced back the next week and would beat them all. So I'm sure Troy's up there watching everything we've done, and I'm sure glad that he got us through this year.
She's coming back great, and we're hoping for another successful year, but she's just been a dream come true. I said it before, like my daughters I love, she's one of my daughters. She's the fourth.
And she just seems to get better and better with age.
She does. She's getting sounder. She's getting faster. She had her lifetime walk this year. She made more money this year than any other. And this year we're going to try again. I think we're going to try for Sweden again.
One of the drivers that's off to a hot start in 2011 is George Brennan. He's come in right now at 6th in terms of wins and 2nd in terms of earnings. I know he was off to a hot start in 2010, Paul. That turned out to be one of his better years in his career.
Yeah, George received the 2010 Driver of the Year honors from the United States Harness Riders Association. Among his achievements last year were going over a couple big career milestones. He passed the 6,000 career victory plateau and also became only the 11th North American driver to bankroll $100 million in career earnings. On the racetrack, he drove Shark Gesture, one of the top older pacing horses throughout the campaign, and also won the 2010 Kentucky Futurity with Wishing Stone. We caught up with George Brennan at last month's Dan Patch Awards dinner, and he offered these comments on his outstanding 2010 season.
I heard about it, late last year that, maybe I was in the voting and started thinking about it more. And then when I was finally called and, was told that I received this honor, this award, I mean, I looked at it and it's really a great honor. I looked at the gentlemen and drivers that have won this in the years past, and it puts me in some elite company. David Miller, Brian Sears, Cat Manzi, Dave Pallone, and I can't be more proud of it myself.
Well, that wraps up another episode of Here They Come. We've got quite a few people to thank this week. I'd like to thank Yannick Gingras, Chuck Sylvester, Howard Taylor, George Brennan, TJ Burkett and Ken Weingartner for their interviews down in Florida. Also like to thank our producer, Rich Johnston. I'm Kate Lockhart.
And I'm Paul Ramlow. Join us next time for another episode of Here They Come.